Oh, sugar honey iced tea. It's the EAC Show.
Hey, ladies and gents, I'm Emilio A. Colon.
And I am Marcus Mack. And this is the EAC Show, F It Fridays, episode 41.
Coming to you from sunny South Florida. Marcus Mack and I had an excellent pre-show, so we're excited about this F It Friday episode. For you guys that don't know, the F It Friday episode is no holds barred. Basically, it's uncensored. So Marcus Mack can just literally be myself. Him and I can just be ourselves. Marcus Mack, we have an excellent show coming up for us. I know there's a lot of stuff that you were talking about in the pre-show, and I kept telling you, hold on.
Right.
Yeah. But let's get right into the show. Our first topic of the show, Marcus Mack. Go ahead.
First topic of the show is we starting with NFL. A lot of NFL talk today. Aaron Rodgers is finally opening up about the Packers drafting his potential replacement in Jordan Love, which I believe that was like a big back and forth with our host of old, Cameron and Emilio. Emilio, tell us about this. I know y'all have the whole backstory with this.
Yeah, so basically Cameron and I were going back and forth on whether or not the Green Bay Packers should select a quarterback in this position, Marcus Mack. Aaron Rodgers was on the Pat McAfee show, coincidentally, when just before this happened, and he ended up going off like right as it happened, and it just caused this mass hysteria. People were asking Pat if he was going to bring him back on, just trolling, because no one saw this happening. Many people thought that, you know what, Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. They need wide receiver help. They need defensive help. They're not going to choose a quarterback. What do the Green Bay Packers do? They pick a quarterback. So Jordan Love comes in. This is the first time that Aaron Rodgers is actually talking about this situation. And Aaron Rodgers took the high road. He said, listen, Jordan Love, it's not his fault. He didn't ask to be picked by Green Bay. He got picked by Green Bay. That's just a part of the way it works. He's going to welcome him with open arms. He's going to treat him exactly the same way he treats every quarterback that comes there, Marcus Mack. But in all actuality, that's just the PR shit that he's saying. You and I both know he wants to sit there and say, listen, young buck, you're going to hold on to that fucking clipboard as long as I need you to hold on to that clipboard, because I'm going to run this fucking show until I'm done. That's it, pretty much. That's the way it's going to work, Marcus Mack. No one's coming in to take Aaron Rodgers, A-Rod's territory up there in the fucking Wisconsin, okay?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm quite sure his leadership is well needed with the new blood. So, you know, there's no reason why that you know, anything he says should go unlistened to.
But listen, he's a baller. Do you even know Tom Brady's backups? No, right?
No.
Okay, did you know anybody that backed up Michael Jordan?
No.
Do you know anybody that backs up LeBron James?
No.
So when you're a baller, you don't know the backups. And that's exactly what's going to end up happening. Aaron Rodgers is going to tell him, listen, young buck, you're going to sit there until it's my time to leave, because I'm going to go ball out and I'm going to do what I got to do. That's pretty much it. I was still shocked. I'm still shocked to this day. Aaron Rodgers obviously is taking a high road with the situation, Marcus Mack, because he has to for his image purpose. He wasn't happy with the pick at first, but like he said, he has no control of it whatsoever. He finally came out and said that, look, I might not end my career in Green Bay, even though less than a year ago he felt completely different, because the club's job is to worry about the present and in the future. And with this picking Jordan Love, they're thinking about the future. Aaron Rodgers doesn't think it's the right pick. I agree with him. I don't think it's the right pick, but they got to do what they got to do. And we're going to watch Aaron Rodgers ball this year. I guarantee it, Marcus Mack. You're going to see him fucking ball.
Yeah, we're gonna see his bones rattle a little bit. we're gonna see him getting chased around that pocket for a little bit. How is that line right now at Green Bay?
I mean, he's no joke. I'm telling you right now, he's gonna be really good, man. I'm telling you, watch. It's gonna be hysterical that they actually picked the quarterback, and this motherfucker gonna have no impact on the team whatsoever, no time soon.
Yeah. Well, speaking of new blood, going into this next topic, this is something that I really I don't want to say that I wanted to talk about it, but I just wanted to say my piece. DeAndre Baker and Quentin Dunbar.
Wait. Call them what you called them in the pre-show.
Oh, the two dickheads.
The two dickheads, yes.
Yeah, the two dickheads. These two idiots.
Yes.
So allegedly, there was a gambling session going on with these two NFL players and 4 other friends, acquaintances, whatever you might have you. They were gambling. Mr. Dunbar and Mr. Baker lost some money. It might have been cash money, liquid, or it might have been some jewelry, whatever the case may be. They lost it. They had a bright idea to leave and come back and rob these gentlemen that they lost their possessions to. Now, my name is Marcus Mack. I have been incarcerated before. I have never been given an opportunity to make $10 million in my life. These two gentlemen, hold on, I just want to make sure I got the ages correct. I know one of them is 23. And one is 22, and the other one is 27. Young brothers, if you just so happen to listen to this, that was the dumbest thing that you could have possibly done. Now, this is right down here. You know, we're in sunny South Florida.
Miramar.
Yeah, that was down here in Miramar. These guys could have been, you know, I don't know these two guys' backgrounds, but I believe they're from Miami, no? Yeah, I get it. You know, ain't nobody taking nothing from me. What? I'm going to have that. I get it. But how do you give up an opportunity that can change your entire life because you want to be tough?
Trying to be too hood, man.
Toughie.
Trying to be too hood. That's what it is. Look, I'm gonna explain something to you, Marcus Mack. I've been in those situations where you're literally gambling and you're gambling for really big money, whether it's playing CeeLo for some people that know it's called 4, 5, 6, whether you're playing craps, whether you're playing poker, whether you're playing blackjack, whether you're betting on sports. I'm telling you, I've been in those situations where you're betting thousands of dollars like it's Monopoly money. And at the end of the day, you just have to be a man of your word, and you just have to either, you know, get your win, get your W, brag a little bit about it, because you always want to have a little bit of bragging rights when it comes to winning that type of money. Or when you lose that type of money, you want to be the man of your word, and you just eat the L. And that, when you eat the L, the respect comes from eating the L. This is the most childish, lamest shit I have ever seen in my life. You
like,
don't do that.
This wasn't even gangster. Like, this stuff wasn't even tough. It wasn't even one of those things where it's just like, oh, yo, they robbed me. I got to go take that back.
You know what? This is what he did. This is what he did. He ass-betted, paid up, and then robbed the kid because he was hurt. He was butthurt.
Oh,
now, I believe Quentin Dunbar's attorney has come out recently, and this is an updated version, and said that he has witnesses that Quentin had no involvement whatsoever in these attempted allegations of robbery and aggravated assault, and pretty much the attorney just pretty much throwing DeAndre Baker underneath the bus. So if this all ends up falling on DeAndre Baker, listen, DeAndre Baker, look, you just got to man up and you just got to pay what you owe. If you ended up blowing your bread on gambling on cards or whatever it may be and you lose, let him eat that cash. Let him keep those 3 watches. And the fake one, you're a cornball for rocking the fake Richard Mille, for sure.
Listen, that was in Miramar, right? That happened? Well, they're going to go to Broward County. And guess what? For those that don't know, first, let me start with this. For those
it's a real shithole.
Real Broward County, they would drag you. And let me tell you, for those of the listeners that does not know, right? There are 4 counts of armed robbery. And, DeAndre Baker has 4 counts of armed robbery and 4 counts of aggravated assault. And Quentin Dunbar has 4 counts of armed robbery, right? So what they're saying is that DeAndre Baker was the aggressor, and he was the person with the weapon that committed the robbery. So they got 4 counts because they're gonna get a count per person that was the crime was being committed against.
Correct.
So now they don't need to press charges. The people who got taken, who got robbed, they don't need to press charges.
The state will pick it up.
The state will pick it up. They will. The robbery that's already happening. The assault charges, they don't need to do anything. The state will pick that up because it's assault with an aggravated with a firearm. I don't know the facts of this case. I don't know what will come of it. All I'm saying is, for anybody else, if any college players are listening to this, any new blood for any sport at all, to have this kind of opportunity to make this kind of money and get your family out of the slums for all the, because me and Emilio both know ball players, they come from the slums. If you have an opportunity to change your life, don't be stupid. Because the real baller thing to do at that point in time was, oh, word, so you took all the jewelry, then you pop back up to the next dice game. Oh, I'm back. Feel what I'm saying? You don't, like, come on.
He was butthurt.
It was infuriating to me because I know what that twin-size mat feel like. And he would never know how that king-size feels on those nights that he's laying on that mat. And something's going to come out of this. Something's going to come out of this.
I agree with you too. I agree with you 200%, Marcus Mack, without question. This is the most idiotic shit I've ever seen. Just eat the L. It's not that much money. Even if you lost $70,000, it's not that much bread compared to the amount of money that you got coming to you in the NFL. Just pay that bread and call it a day.
Look at it. If you really want to be official about it, yo, not for nothing, this is giving back to the hood.
Oh,
yeah.
charity. I'm
coming back to the hood just to roll dice and lose $100K. Who won it?
Just take the L, man. Just make it. Tell your accountant to make it a tax write-off and call it a day.
Well, look, right, this is not the first time. We're going to go off to the next topic after this. This is not the first time that we've seen ball players make idiotic mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be with guns, whether it be something that people make mistakes, I get it. But this was so wrong.
Avoidable. It's avoidable. It's avoidable.
Yeah, there was nothing right about this. Nothing whatsoever. Those emotions, for the people who are listening, this just doesn't go for ball players. Those emotions that you go through that leads you to do these things, they are so childish and petty. And the place where you end up because of it, and the name, like, it's not like you don't have a name. It's not, and then you doing it. Oh my God! How did they get caught? Hold on, let me look at it. How did they get caught? Because it's like, are you going to put in some work? Or that's what you going to do? Or I'm about to go rob. So how did you get caught, stupid?
Yeah, they call the cops on them. They call the cops on them and tell the
you
story.
Ain't even kill them. I'm not promoting murder. I'm just saying, like, what is wrong with these kids? Nah, like, y'all not really on some gangster shit. Like, it's not like that. What are y'all doing?
They're idiots.
I'm very upset about it because, like, you had an opportunity to
Marcus Mack. I want to applaud you. I was a little bit concerned in the pre-show whether you were going to bring the same energy that you had in the pre-show. So I gotta applaud you. I gotta applaud you, sir. You brung it.
I had a tough couple of days. You know, I could run my mouth, but I had a tough couple of days. I just, I've been everywhere. I need a haircut. My barber's been avoiding me.
And listen, Marcus Mack, for you guys not watching on YouTube, he's ready for the last 2 episodes of The Last Dance because he got Chicago Bulls, Scottie Pippen jersey on right now, repping. He got the black joint on.
Yeah, I'm going to get the white one, the all white one to go with these though. Hold on.
For you guys listening in on the podcast, Marcus Mack is gonna.
Y'all that don't see it, I got these.
Sneakers. He got some white and red Air Force Ones.
I got these, and then I got the infrared 5s coming in. They coming in. They coming.
He really, guys. I'm sorry. He really just took his Air Force One and tossed it like a frosted flake.
That's just the first one. That's the first. I'm gonna come out with that first. For all my fly guys out there, there's the first day of school rule. You know what I'm saying? You don't wear your flyest outfit on the first day of school. You come to school with like your 5th flyest outfit.
Oh my God, Marcus Mack definitely brought your energy today.
And then you hit them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna hit them with the airs. Those are what you call ones and dones. All those one and dones. And then you gotta hit them with the infrared 5s, all white with the white Bulls jersey. Throwback joint though.
Don't kill them too much, Marcus. They still need to live. They still need to live to hear the shows. Don't kill them too much.
Listen, I get real exotic with this.
He's bringing in the props.
He's got the props. So,
Marcus, we got to get into our next topic. Come on, let's stay on the show. Get into our next topic
for the day. James Harrison on Mike Tomlin. He has never paid me for hurting someone. So what the story is about this, I'll let Emilio tell you more about this. But what the story is about this is that it was alleged that Mike Tomlin, his coach for the Steelers, was paying him the money like he would get fined to hit players, and Mike Tomlin will pay him. This is what was alleged, and he's saying he was never paid to do that.
Yeah, so basically this was blown out of proportion according to James Harrison. James Harrison was basically trying to say or talk about an instance that happened back in the days where he hit Muhammad Massaquoi on a hit, and the NFL was actually selling this hit on their website for $54. You could buy a picture of it. Then when it became about player safety, they took all those punishing hits down off their website. You couldn't buy it anymore. So James Harrison in passing basically was just, sitting there saying, look, back in the days, something like this, there was a fund that players would put together, and if a fine came across, they would use sometimes some of that money inside of that fund, which was inside of the locker room, to pay the fine. And it just came out that, he said that Mike Tomlin handed me the envelope like, yo, that hit is going to get you fined. So use some of this money that's in this fund to pay for that fine. Now, I don't think it's as far as them claiming like they're talking about Bountygate, which is something totally different. Bountygate was with the New Orleans Saints defensive coordinator Marcus Mack. Greg Williams was actually putting a bounty on certain players to get knocked out of the game. And if you knock that player out of the game, you get X amount of dollars to do that. So that's completely different. That's headhunting. That's like me, Marcus Mack, telling you, yo, listen, I need you to do me a favor. You see that sneaker store in Oakland and 441? I need you to put them out of business. And if you put them out of business, I'm going to give you $500,000. That's completely different than you getting fined for doing something incorrectly. And I sit there and I say, Marcus, here's an envelope to pay for some of your fine. That's totally different. It's not the same thing.
Yeah, definitely.
So Mike Tomlin was looking out for his player with a fund that was created by them inside for fines if they came up. And you got New Orleans, who's actually headhunting players and sitting there saying, yo, you knock these players out of the game, we're fucking paying you.
Yeah, that's illegal, isn't it?
Yes, very illegal. Very illegal, Marcus Mack. Very illegal. See, because there's certain things, Marcus Mack, in every sport. This happens in every sport. So you have equipment guys that call clubbies, clubhouse people or whatever, trainers, managers, people that work behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see. Well, during the Christmas times, the holiday times, beginning of the year and the end of the year, depending on how the team does, the players put together money for these people. And you hand them envelopes either before the season, in the middle of the season, at the end of the season, or even when you win the Super Bowl, World Series, finals, whatever. There's always a fund that's created for those people. Well, in all actuality, sometimes there's a fund inside of a fund because there's a fund for the players. You might have a bad language fund, like certain teams, their coaches don't want their players cursing excessively. Sometimes you might have a Make-A-Wish kid fund where these kids, they bring in all these, Make-A-Wish things and they raise a certain amount of money for Make-A-Wish. How much you're going to give, You got the car wash detailing guy. You got the little errand boy that runs around and picks up everybody food and, stuff like that. There's things inside the locker room that players take care of that no one hear about. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes clubhouse equipment managers and people like that, Marcus Mack, end up making more money off of that than they make the whole year. In baseball, some clubhouse attendants, Marcus Mack, make more money from the players than they make as a salary from the club.
Sounds like I gotta go work for.
Dude, it's notorious. Yankee bat boys are notorious for making like ridiculous amount of money. And you thinking of a bat boy, Marcus?
Call me Bobby Boucher. I'm coming with
Yeah, exactly. Water boy. I go get that water for all day long. But we gotta get to the promo real quick. This part of the show is brought to you by ElCubanoSandwichShop.com. Use the promo code EAC and receive discount on online pickups or delivery orders. Enjoy a cafe con leche or natural pre-workout shot of that Cuban coffee to start your day. The daily lunch specials and then steak sandwich is next level. Once again, use the promo code EAC. That's ElCubanoSandwichShop.com or 954-906-5110. Remember, use the promo code EAC, and that's El Cubano Sandwich Shop. in Cold Springs. Marcus Mack, once again, is ready for episode 9 and 10, the final 2 episodes of The Last Dance, premiering on ESPN at 9 o'clock on Sunday with his Scottie Pippen Bulls jersey and his white and red Air Force One and Duns, he calls them.
Don't forget the guns.
I'm not saying all that.
You don't want to tell them about the biceps? It's crazy. Okay, so our next topic on F It Fridays, we have a gentleman's name that I cannot pronounce, but we will be calling him Tilla Tequila until Emilio fixes this. So, former Alabama quarterback, help me.
Tagovailoa,
right. Tilla Tequila. So he does not like the treatment that he's getting in Alabama, so he is transferring to Maryland. Emilio, it's on you.
So everybody, all you guys that don't know, this is Tua's brother. Tua was drafted by the Miami Dolphins. Tua is a former quarterback at Alabama. He's won a national championship with them. He's getting paid. He just signed a major deal with the Dolphins, a major deal with Adidas. So shout out to him and glad that he's all situated. Unfortunately, his brother was supposed to be a better player than he was. He signed to Alabama. He was there. He was going to play for Nick Saban, and things went south, and now he is transferring, and he ended up in the hands of the Maryland Terps. And not for nothing, Marcus Mack, I just got off the phone not too long ago with a friend of mine who has associations with the Maryland Terps universities, and they are popping champagne and drinking White Claws like there's no tomorrow up there during this coronavirus pandemic, because this is hands down probably the biggest college prospect that the Maryland Terps has had in a very long time. He's a baller. This kid is going to be extremely good. He's going to help out the Maryland Terps in that division. Hopefully they can get some college football started with this coronavirus pandemic. But I love this transfer for them because this puts them on the map. This takes a name and attaches it to that program. So shout out to that AD and that coach for doing an amazing job and bringing in Tagovailoa to the Maryland Terps.
Hello,
Marcus Mack, come on, get our next subject ready. Come on, don't go.
Oh no, my audio went out. Sorry, fellas. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. Okay, so our next topic for F It Fridays is we're going into MLB.
Major League Baseball.
Your favorite thing to talk about, and possibly almost my favorite thing to talk about, business. So Major League Baseball, as everybody knows, along with every other sport, is taking a huge loss, somewhere up towards $4 billion if the 2020 season is canceled. So, this was something that, Rob Manfred was quoted saying, that the other owners of the Major League Baseball will be losing up towards $4 billion. And that's a huge loss. And there's a lot of players that's not willing to take pay cuts because Major League Baseball, they don't have a salary cap. A salary cap. So, it's like really a huge thing right now. I want to say that, they should be a little bit more, cooperative, especially since they're losing a lot of money. But hey, let's be serious. These owners are making billions of dollars, even in this pandemic. You know what I'm saying?
So Marcus Mack, I want you to reiterate a little bit of what we talked about on the pre-show, Marcus Mack, with Blake Snell. And I want you to give me your opinion because I'm going to talk about it. But I want to hear your opinion because you watched the video for the first time. So I want to hear your reaction to that video.
Where he was talking about, he's saying he's not willing to take the salary cap?
Yes, because why?
Pay cut. Well, for several reasons. He has to pay taxes. He says, well, there's a chance of him getting hurt. Well, not him getting hurt, but there's a chance of him catching the coronavirus. He's risking his life pretty much. He's playing amongst other players who may have it, may be dormant in their body, and then he catches it, he dies. He's saying, Marcus, and I want you to reiterate it to the audience. He's saying that if I have to play, what is going to get me to play? Give me all my money.
Thank you.
That's all my money. If I'm gonna, it's pretty much what Blake Snell was saying is, if you want me to play, give me all of my money because of such and such and such and such and such. But that's something that any player in any of these sports would say, but only because it's baseball and the rules that's already set for them. There's no salary cap. They're gonna get a set amount of money no matter what. It's not like football where it's like, okay, we can negotiate. We'll negotiate $10 million now. 2 years into your season, we renegotiate because of possible injuries or whatever the forecast. It may rain tomorrow. We'll give you less. It's not like that in Major League Baseball. You're going to get every cent that you're supposed to get. And he's saying it, listen, if I'm going to go out there on that field and I'm going to play ball, y'all going to have to give me all my money because of X, Y, and Z. I agree with him, but at the same time, this is it's a crazy time right now.
Marcus, this is such a proud moment for me on this show. You have no idea. I'm like a father that's willing to cry right now. With all of the information that you just gave out, makes me so happy because you actually are learning about sport. So for all you guys, Major League Baseball is my biggest thing. Listen to me. Rob Manfred has a decision to protect his owners because he really works for the owners more than anything else. He is the commissioner of baseball. Those owners put him as that title. They voted for him to be there. So at the end of the day, he's always going to do what's best for his owners. The Players Association and their agents are the ones that look out for the players, and Blake Snell has every right to say what he says. If I'm going out there, if I'm risking my life, if I might get the coronavirus, pay me my motherfucking money. I don't care about anybody else. Forget about everybody. Nobody's going to be there to be at my funeral to save my wife or to save my kids or whatever happens if something was to happen to me. So if you want me to play, if you want me to pitch, if you want me to perform for your team, pay me what I signed for. That's it. Bottom line. This isn't basketball. This isn't football. This isn't the NHL. This isn't the MLS where they argue about money. In baseball has no problem paying you what they think that you are worth.
And that is the part why I agree with him completely, because that one part of the sentence right there where you said, pay me what I signed for. This is what was agreed to, and because of the nature of Major League Baseball business, it's owners, I make $100 billion. What do you want to play? Okay, I want $100 million. Fine. Sign here. No way, shape, or form can this be changed at all. Here comes coronavirus. Boom. Okay, we want to pay you less. No.
No.
That's not what we agreed to.
No.
I don't care what's going on. I will play. Corona or not, I will play. But I will not take a pay cut no matter what. You're going to have to give me all my money, Corona or not. I don't care what y'all losing because I signed to this. This is what I agree.
I swear to everything I love, I want to cry so much listening to you sit there and say that, Marcus, because you know what? It shows that you are getting it. You're finally figuring out how ruthless, you're learning the ruthlessness in sports.
Gosh.
Nobody wants baseball to play more than I do. No one wants baseball to play more than I do. But I'm not going to sit there and I'm not going to tell none of those players, whether it's Mike Trout, Stanton, Judge, Justin Verlander, Blake Snell, anybody, that they have to play for $1 less than what they deserve. Period.
Yeah.
Because they don't go to those owners and they don't tell those owners, well, since you're making $10 billion more this year, I need more money. They don't do that.
Right. And you know, there are clauses set in place for sports like football and basketball, emergency clauses for these types of things. Not in baseball. I'm saying,
dude, baseball don't worry about that. Baseball makes so much goddamn money. It's not even funny, man.
Yeah,
it's not even funny, man.
Between merch, you know, let alone a lot of these owners, they own so like a lot of stuff is under one umbrella, you know, and they make a lot of money.
Put it this way, Marcus Mack, the New York, just to get you to understand, the New York Yankees have 2 players on their team that make over $300 million each player. 2 players.
I think the only sport that pays like that is what, soccer.
It's them in soccer, yes. Soccer, world soccer, European soccer is without a doubt probably the highest paying sport in the world. But Major League Baseball is really up there. Because you got to remember, soccer is played throughout the world, whereas MLB is only in the United States and Canada. So it's a big difference, you know, huge difference. It's like comparing apples to oranges. There's so many more soccer players in the world than there is MLB players, you know. But not for nothing. Shout out to all those boys, and I hope everything goes down. And mind you, I did have this conversation today with somebody. Once again, this is one of my sources. We talked about it a little bit. From now on in Major League Baseball, Marcus Mack, things are going to change. I don't think necessarily that you will see players sign very, very long deals for reasons like this. Because if you sign a person in 10 years and 3 years into that 10-year deal, another pandemic comes along, this changes everything. The way negotiations, the way money's going to be given out, the way agents have to get money now, it might be better to take money faster because of this. You understand?
Right. Well, I mean, I'm a firm believer that there shouldn't be any vulnerability in between transactions. But in business, everything has to be set. Like, listen, before we start exchanging money, let's get everything down on paper. Let's make it what it is. So when things like this come up, it leaves people vulnerable. It leaves the people putting up the money vulnerable, and it leaves the players and the other parts that the parts of the machine. So there's the business people, the owners, and then there's the parts of the machine that make the owners the money. So now you're leaving everyone vulnerable in times like this when it wasn't really anyone's fault. It's one of those things where, like, hey guys, listen, we're taking a huge loss. We need you guys to take a loss too. No, sorry, not me. That's not what I agreed to. And, you know, like, you know, we spoke about this and everybody's talking about it. The new norm, the norm isn't what it was before. So I wouldn't be surprised if now there will be clauses set in place for times like this. And it's going to change the way we look at everything, you know, forever.
Listen, Marcus Mack, do me a favor, close out the show. I don't want to say another fucking motherfucking thing. I don't want to say anything else. I'm so happy. I'm so happy right now. Close out the show. I don't want to say anything. Guys, I'll see you on Monday. I ain't saying shit.
See you on Monday, episode 42. I'm gonna put that Blake Snell thing after the show. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys later. This is the EAC Show. I am Marcus Mack. That's Emilio A. Colon. We'll holla.
No, I'm not splitting no revenue. I want all mine. Bro, y'all gotta understand too, because y'all gonna be like, bro, Blake, play for the love of the game, man. What's wrong with you, bro? Money should not be a thing. Bro, I'm risking my life. What do you mean it should not be a thing? It 100% should be a thing. If I'm gonna play, I should be getting the money I signed to be getting paid. I should not be getting half of what I'm getting paid because the season's cut in half, on top of a 33% cut of the half that's already there. So I'm really getting like 25%. On top of that, it's getting taxed. So imagine how much I'm actually making to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't making shit. And on top of that, so all that money's gone. And now I play risking my life. And if I get the Rona, on top of that, if I get the Rona, guess what happens with that? Oh yeah, that's in my body forever. That damage is not going to be like, the damage that was done to my body, that's going to be there forever. So now I got to play with that on top of that. So y'all got to understand, man, for me to take a pay cut is not happening because the risk is through the roof. It's a shorter season, less pay. Like, bro, yeah, man, I gotta get my money. I'm not playing unless I get mine. Okay? And that's just the way it is for me. Like, I'm sorry if you guys think differently, but the risk is way the hell higher and the amount of money I'm making is way lower. Why would I think about doing that? Like, you know, I'm sorry. So in my head, I'm preparing for next season. And I'm actually preparing for right now. But as if I'm preparing for next season. Like, it's super weird, man. More Twitch streams for us, that's facts. But guys, I'm just saying, man, it just doesn't make sense for me to lose all of that money and then go play and then be on lockdown, not around my family, not around the people I love, and get paid way the hell less And then the risk of injury runs every time I step on the field. So it's not worth it. It's not. I love baseball to death. It's just not worth it.
Oh, sugar honey iced tea. It's the EAC show.